So the beach is pretty littered with these young ones and their guardian parents. Little cuties, huh? Look like little ostriches with their colouring. And these caves, well sorry, not these caves, this cliff face here, of course, is the perfect environment for them, and there's thousands of them all around. Hello? And so I have become somewhat notorious in these neck of the woods since my encounter with those seagulls up on the cliff face when I went to look at their young. If you remember that video, there was about 8 of them that ganged up on me and started to dive bomb me. And what they do is, when they dive bomb you, they're like Stukas, the German Second World War fighter plane and bomber. They used to carry one bomb, and when they used to come down to drop that bomb, they used to put a siren on, and the siren used to go as it's coming down. Then it used to put the fear of God or Satan into all the people in the vicinity, because they didn't know where the bomb was going to come. And so they come down and they go, drop the bomb, and then go, ow. This is exactly what these birds do. As soon as they see me coming down on the beach, they all start mouthing off. Here he is, he's back. They look up like this, they start, they take to flight, and they come dive bombing me. And they open their mouths and they go, as they're coming down, and as they come down like this, they've got both their feet out like that, like ducks when they're just about to land on the water. And what they endeavour to do is to hit you on the top of the head with these feet. And the other thing they do, of course, is shit on you. And so they come down just like Stukas and they drop their shit on you, squirt, and sometimes they catch you. But I'm a bit wise to it now, and I watch and I dodge. But on the first occasion, one caught me a corker with a right load of shit. And so they're all mouthing off. These ones here, these are not too bothered about me, because these have been living around here and they never experienced me going to inspect their young when they was only tiny in the nest, and so they're not mouthing off, and I can get pretty close to their young because they've not been afraid. Little sweeties. Hey, see if I can get a little bit closer. I wonder how close I can get before your mummy and daddy start to dive bomb me with shit. Pretty close. Where's mummy and daddy? Over there. And so it's significant to notice that these birds remember me. I don't know whether it's the beard, the black t-shirt, well, it doesn't matter what t-shirt I wear, they remember me. And so they've got some sort of facial recognition going down, or whether it's an instinctual, vibrational thing. I don't know how these animals work. But as soon as I step on the beach, then they start. And there's one in particular, and I think it's the one whose young I was going near the nest. That one really has a problem with me. And on some occasions, what actually happens is that the other birds in the vicinity get so sick of this bird squawking and causing alarm that they attack this bird, and they fly after it like fighters in the sky, and they grab hold of the wings, and then they tumble until the one that's got hold of the wing lets it go. And sometimes when they're on the floor, the one that grabs hold of the wing is throwing it around like this until the other one flies off. And so they have their own dogfights. And it seems like what they're saying is some of them get so tired of the one shrieking alarm when there's no alarm. It's like, will you shut the fuck up already? Otherwise I'll give you something to cry about. And that's what happens. And so when I go back in about an hour's time, it's like 7 o'clock now, and so the beach is pretty empty now, which is beautiful, but it'll be even more empty in an hour's time. And when I go back, all the young will be out walking around the beach, because in the daytime there's too many people on the beach. It's absolutely chock-a-block. And so what they do is they go over to the side and they sit at the side. And so I'm going to go near those young and I'll show you this particular bird that has got an issue with me. Even though I've not hurt the birds, I've not really been that close. But you see, what happened is, I put a certain fear. I triggered a certain parental fear within it. And so that caused it to panic. Now, what I discovered is most of the birds, they will have this initial panic when the young are first on the beach. It's like they're on red alert. And even though they've seen other young bigger than their own, they're all over the beach and there's no problem, still these particular parents will act terrified if anybody goes near them. But given a few days' time, they all calm down. Like these here. How you doing? Alright? Yeah, so they all calm down. But this one bird, that she just won't calm down. And she's got this problem with me. And so when you relate it then like to humans who were initially upset by you, and then they can never get over that, they won't let it lie. And they'll just keep banging on and banging on and banging on. It's like they want to keep reliving that state of fear or anger. Whereas most, they'll just let it go and they'll move on to other emotions, you see. Right, I'm going to go a little bit closer to this one. I'm going to come and get you in a minute. I'm going to come and get you in a minute. Look, I'm going to get you. Yeah, he's not too bothered, you see. There's the little babies down there, having a nice time. It's beautiful to have this close proximity with nature. You see, these birds, they're sharing this part of the world and they have just as much right to it as we do. And it's beautiful how the humans live in harmony with these animals, because we're at a stage of our evolution whereby we don't need to eat them. And so because we've developed socially and we kill our birds privately because nobody wants to see it. You see, if somebody started to attack these birds now, or like captured one of them because they wanted to eat it, then you'd probably get an uproar with all the people. Oh, you're killing that bird! And yet they'll go home tonight and they'll be eating chicken, fish, pork, lamb, beef, any number of things, see, because they've become detached through negation and denial of what they're actually doing, and they don't want to consider that they're responsible for killing animals. But of course, anybody that eats an animal is responsible for killing it, because if it wasn't for them eating it, the animal wouldn't have been killed. And it's not right to say, well, it was going to be killed anyway, or it was already killed and then I just went and bought it. Well, you know, if it wasn't for people that ate meat, then the animals wouldn't be killed. Look at those little darlings. And how wonderful it is to have the parents so near and so calm. I'm not going to eat you little guys. I just want to look at you. See how cute you are. And if you notice, the top of their heads, they've got this variety of colour. It looks a little bit grey greeny, and then you've got these black spots. This is almost exactly what the eggs look like. And so they continue the same level of camouflage as the egg does. Isn't that a curious thing? And so, to observe the natural world, you see, I've been in this vicinity now for a whole year, and so I've seen this beach every single day throughout a whole year. And when you do that, that's when you become a part of it. You are a part of it because you're there every day, just like the other animals. They live here, and so then you become an integral part of it. And I've seen all the varieties of wave and tide expanse and sand removal and deposit, and all the different varieties of sunsets and weathers, and all the way in which the flowers bloom at a certain period. And then you see the birds. In the wintertime, they're all just sitting on the beach in huge hordes of, say, like 100 or 200, and they're all sitting in very close proximity, just passing the time of day, and they're all facing into whatever way the wind is blowing. You see, because the more aerodynamic that way, the wind goes straight over their feathers. And then you see them start to partner up, and then you see the couples, and then you'll see the nest building, and then you'll see the young, and it is a beautiful thing. See, they're not bothered in the slightest. It's curious, isn't it? At what stage do they start to become bothered? I mean, I think they would be more bothered if they were listening to their parents screaming terror. But as the parent is not bothered, because it's wise enough to know that none of them, young or old, are in danger. And they would have all seen their mates at some stage, because during the winter time they have kind of like a flu, and they become weak and they can't fly, and so you see them just sitting on the beach, and their mates will fly around them and sometimes walk around them, trying to give them some sort of encouragement. And then humans, you know, put a little bowl of water or some food on, and I often pick them up out of the waterfront and put them in the shade. And so they know that humans are not a threat, but there's always going to be the odd one that screams and puts terror, spreads terror, you see. And I'll show you this particular one when we go down there. Oi, little chickies. Isn't that delightful? Yes, I thought so too.